Hey everyone, and welcome to the new Monster of the Week actual play series, Death Was Easy, where our players are going to need to travel through the Underworld in the Hades video game setting. But before we get to that, why don't we go around and we're going to introduce our players and who they are playing. So, do your name, your pronouns, character name, character pronouns, and what playbook you are playing tonight. And we will start by the overlay. So, Jet, you are first.
Say hi, I'm Jet. My pronouns are they, them. Um, and Nightbot's so cool. Um, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Eris, whose pronouns are she, they, it, and they are the divine. Do I have to explain how my character looks or just
Nope, we'll get to that when they're introduced in the game. Perfect.
cool?
Abigail, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Abigail. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be playing Sybil, who also uses she, her pronouns. And I'm playing the spooky.
Awesome. Well,
Hi, hello, and howdy, everyone. I am Miguel. I use they, he pronouns, and I will be playing Esteban de la Cruz, who uses he, him pronouns, is an the initiate.
perfect. Halloween.
All right. I'm Halloween. Both me and my character Lydia use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing the chosen one.
Nice. And last but not least, Knots.
Hi, my name is Nox Quiroz. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'll be playing Eliana Rivera, who also uses she, her, hers, and I am the Hex.
Perfect. And everyone, I am Paige. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing everyone else and trying to kill these players. But before we get to the Underworld, there's something that each of our players try to do first, and that is, well, die. So we rolled before stream to see whose narrative we're going to do first, and Miguel, we're going to start with you. So as we zoom in to the home base of the Order of the Serpent, a order and clan dedicated to protecting the mortal world, who are unaware of the supernatural and godly threats out there from harm. Why don't you describe your character as we zoom into the office of your clan leader as they called you in for a new mission?
Yeah, so Esteban strolls in, not really strolls, more like kind of awkward, not hesitates at the door, and then eventually kind of comes in. He's been around a while, but really is stayed sort of just at the initiate level. He's a kind of a lifer, if you will. So maybe slightly confused. He's like, new mission. I thought it was just gonna be. I have a lot of records to move from one archives room to another still.
Yeah, as you
Is this about that?
as you enter, you see him. He doesn't like give you attention at first as he's going on his desk. The leader's name is Richard Evans. He's an older white gentleman, probably in like his late 50s, early 60s. So he has that like salt and pepper beard and hair, very thick forearms. He's like the ex-military type look guy. And he's just going through some paperwork, doesn't ignores you as you're trying to stand there awkwardly before he writes the last thing he's doing and sets it all down. Esteban, grab a seat.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering why I've called you here. We got word on a new mission request that came in, and I felt like this one would be a little more suited for you, as you might have a personal tie in this mission.
Oh, is it
We
more filing?
we got a lead on the Mount Bank estate.
Go on.
Yeah, one of our contacts had a relative go missing and was able to track them to what looked like a vampire den, and one of the people that they identified going in was very close to the description of Reginald. I know you're a little more inexperienced than most of our group, but most of our group is also in the field right now. So with this being such a personal tie, I felt like it was best to send you out. It'll be your first solo mission, and it's not going to be an easy one, but we believe in you.
Yeah. If this arm has arm like rest, one of them is just being.
Yeah, it's like one of those high back like red chairs with like the cushiony armrest.
tight grip on both of them. His sort of graying beard, if possible, has got grayer, you know, in the moment. It's like, yeah, this is definitely something I'm up to.
Okay. I think we've given you your order armor yet as your new, so go get outfitted, get your weapons restocked. Here's a full, he just signed something. Here's a full requisition form to get everything you need as a new member in the field. Just head down to requisitions, and Patty will get you all set up. Okay. And he just dismisses you. So yeah, you head out. This is a pretty big mansion. It's about a 2-story mansion, 20 rooms on each floor. It's literally massive. You head down to the main staircase and turn left, going into the basement where requisitions takes up the whole floor. And as you like open the basement door, it's just like tech hunter paradise, like weapons of every type of hunt, any like weapon you've seen in typical hunter movies, like Underworld, Blade, any of those type of weapons are just everywhere in here, scattered across the walls. And as you enter, you see like a little cage desk with like a net caging around it, and you see an older lady, probably should have retired quite a bit ago, very recently, older black woman named Patty, who's just typing away at her computer with her little glasses like hanging off of her face. Doesn't look up as you enter. Probably didn't hear you as you entered, honestly.
I come in, just sort of trying not to disturb. I don't know if she's doing, but eventually I kind of get, say, halfway through the room. Patty, you know, I tried the lemon bar recipe from the book you recommended at book club last month.
Oh, I'm so glad
Divine.
Is that why you're down? Did you finish this month's book? Did you like it?
Boy, do I wish. No. Turns out I'm going to the field, and I have this slip of paper to give you.
Well, how about that, dear? Your first time, I believe. Oh, get you
Yeah, very
outfitted
excited.
here. What weapons did you choose? Well, for your character sheet.
Oh, yes. Excellent. So I have some old-timey as well as some new-timey weapons. First, a sword. Also a silver knife. And in true Frank Reynolds style, a 9mm.
Yeah, you see she looked at the request form, gets you like your general supplies for being out, like camping gear, rations, water, all that kind of stuff. And then she's like, okay, it's about standard fare weapons for a new initiate. So here's a 9mm. You know how to use that, right? And she like expertly like unloads it, loads it, like flips it open, takes it apart in front of you. This old lady is very dexterous, and she just breaks this gun down and then flips it all back together and hands it to you, safety on.
Yeah, I caught all that.
Okay, cool. And then a couple silver knives. Here you go. She gives you like a bandolier of knives. Here you go for that. And then last but not least, I think we got a brand new one. She lifts a like claymore size sword. I think this will fit you. You prefer a little smaller, bigger? We got about all sizes of swords available here.
Like a petite, maybe.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Bait's not for everybody. And then she like looks around under the desk, and she comes back with like a half in hand size sword. It's about maybe like that big ish. Black steel with like a guard with the Ouroboros, like a little circle was open at the end of the hilt. Hands it over to you. Go. It's one of the more standard fares. Should do you well.
Thank you so much.
What are you hunting?
Vampire.
She lifts one more case out and flips it open. There's about 10 wooden stakes, as well as some holy water, and you just see like a fresh thing of garlic. Doesn't work as good as the stories say it does, but it's still something.
I pick up one of the stakes, kind of examine it, and go, yep, that's oak. You can tell by the grain right there.
Yeah, it's
and
perfect.
Just put it right back in the case.
Okay, well, you're all equipped. Look at you. One more thing. Do you like this part? And she gets out from behind her desk and leads you down to the end of the hallway, and hits a big red button on the wall, and the whole wall flips around, and there's just suits of armor all lined up. Well, find your size and try it on. And why don't you describe what the armor looks like, because you made this armor for your character, so.
yeah, I feel like it's like there's like a montage, you know. Holding Out for a Hero is playing in the back of my head, I believe, as this is going on. And it's just, one thing after another, like huge suit of armor almost like kind of topples over and falls out in it, a gauntlet here, a thing there, a sword there, but eventually settles on, imagine, if you will, your first World of Warcraft character, or replaced with MMO of choice. You're about like halfway through, you have no idea what you're doing, and you've just got this hodgepodge of like half a set of armor from this thing, but you still want those leather boots because the stats are better than anything else you found, and just nothing matches, nothing looks right, So he has, and I have to look it back up because it's on my sheet. It's just a mix of some metal, some leather armor. He has a black pauldron and like matching metal armor, just like down along his right arm, and then just a bracer kind of gauntlet on the right or on the left, sorry, which is leather, and has like sort of like found sort of a harness that he keeps the pauldron on, that he combined with the bandolier of knives, and then a very sporty kind of fetching holster for the gun that also holds the knife. It's like a 2-in-1. So, you just reach one pocket. It's a knife. The other one is like, oh, no, the safety's on. It's not shooting kind of situation.
Gotcha.
Tucks those in. And then some just like some knee coverings and greaves, like basically like knees down. He's like found some covered armor as well with some boots.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, look at you. Don't you look so official? And one more treat for you. Yeah, a lot of members return them not out of any desire, but just because these are expensive, so we recycle them when members leave, so to say. I don't think that one is a recent return, so it should be pretty sterile. And then, as she says that, she like looks her, oh shit, she like wipes a spot of blood off the shoulder pad. Be fine. You look great. And here's one last treat for the road. And she actually reaches into her little cardigan pocket and pulls out 2 lemon bars and just shoves them in your front pocket.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you be careful.
Ecstatic.
She pats your cheek and gives you a little kiss on the cheek as you walk off. And we cut ahead about 7 hours later as your character is running through the woods. Just you hear loud sounds crashing like through the trees above you as you're running. As you're running, give me a give me a investigate a mystery roll. So roll plus sharp.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, that is a 7 on the dice, so plus sharp, that's a 6.
Oh, so mark experience. That is a failure. As you are just panicking, like half your gear is gone, your armor is torn to shreds. You lost your sword and your gun along the way as you're running through these woods. When you got to the mansion and you got in, it seemed pretty quiet at all. You were able to take out a couple vampire thralls. And as you got to the room where you were told the Lord would be alone tonight, there was about 50 vampires and like a gladiator type setup waiting for you. And you booked it. And you have been running for the last hour through this woods, surrounded, being chased by vampires, fighting them off. And as you stumble into a clearing and fall forward, you look up to see Reginald sitting in a makeshift throne waiting for you.
Oh.
Well, last of the line. I knew we were sloppy and we forgot someone, but you were just such an insignificant little thing. I just never went back to it.
You took my entire family from me.
That I did. Speaking of, he snaps his fingers. 2 vampires land behind you and grab one of your arms and seize you up. And as you look at these 2 vampires, they're your parents.
Hot tears start streaming.
You see, there's no sign of recognition in their eyes. as they look blankly at you.
Try to fight them back. Just try to fight it. And I look at him and Reginald and go, if in this life or the next, I will find a way to make you pay for this.
You're not the first member of your family or your order to say so, but time here is done. I don't even think you're worthy enough to turn, so he pulls inside of his long coat and pulls out your sword, and he just walks slowly to you. Yeah, your sword. Any last words as he puts the tip right against where your heart is?
I look at both of my parents, knowing that they don't recognize me, that they can't ever and won't understand it. And I just say, I'm sorry.
And as you say that, plunges it into your chest, and you feel yourself slipping away. And as everything goes to black, cut to the next person.
Mhm.
That's the first one?
Yeah, it's the first one.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Starting off good,
Wow.
What? I actually have a doctor's
it.
note that says
right?
Nose goes. Nose goes.
Next up, my dear, dear sister, Halloween.
Ah, hell no. All right.
So, as we cut over, we're gonna cut over to probably like northern Norway, as there's a festival for a very specific cult that follows the death goddess Hel. Not as popular of a religion nowadays in this world. Obviously, the Greeks have a very strong influence. Those in the know of them. Even your cult knows of their power base that they have. But you got a nice family of followers here, and you've all been summoned for your yearly annual meetup, but also because your head of the cult, Heather, had a big announcement for you directly from Hell, she says. So as you're gathering up, why don't you describe what Lydia looks like to the audience?
All right. So Lydia probably looks a little more modern than you would expect for like her era, but she's kind of like a gothy femme. Has like really short, kind of almost a pixie cut, choppy with like different colors like pinks and purples and blues, where it's like instead of waiting for the color to fade out, you just kept dyeing over it. So now it's just a mess. Wearing earrings made out of animal bones and a necklace to match. And then just like long, like a lacy type dress that suits kind of like the dark vibe of being a part of a death cult.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah, as you see other people there as you arrive already setting up. There's like refreshments all set up. It's a big open like fire pit in the middle that some people already have animals hoisted over that they're cooking for the night and the festivities. You see like what era did you say you were in again?
Not quite now modern, but probably like Buffy the Vampire era, like
Okay,
90s,
cool.
2000s.
Perfect. Best era, obviously.
Best era.
But yeah, you see them setting up like music equipment and like a big projector screen, and there's like a stage all set up. And as you arrive, you see a couple of the other newer initiates come up to you. Their names are Amber and Brittany. They're a pair of twins that are about like 19 years old. Both like white Caucasian females, blonde hair, blue eyes. Lydia. Heather was looking for you. She said you're not going to need for setup, that she has an announcement later and that you're going to be part of that. So she wanted to talk to you in the main tent over that way. And she points to a tent like past the stage that you can see.
Okay. Well, sure thing. I'll see her over there.
All right, awesome. See you at the. It's going to be so much fun tonight. Be dancing and drinking. I'm so excited. It's my first festival.
Festivals are always a good time. Don't you worry.
Awesome. And you see they run off and are into refreshments. They're already like eating some of the snacks as they set up. And yeah, you head over to Heather's tent, and as you get there, it's unguarded. You see the flap is up, and you see Heather like bat to you with a table spread out, just like looking at some stuff. Heather is about early 40s, so not quite graying yet. Very statuesque woman, very tall and thin, but you can see like the muscles of hard work under her arms, and her robes are just kind of open at the moment.
Howdy, Heather. Said
Oh.
you need me?
Yeah, Lydia. Close the tent and come in. So as you are one of our more senior members, I'm sure you're aware of the issue going on lately. with people not dying. I don't know how we've been able to keep it under wraps as long as we are, but something is going on in the underworld.
Yeah. I mean, the baby boomer propaganda can only hold on for so long. So, just gotta
Yeah,
keep holding on. But have you heard anything further?
we've sent as many people as we can out. We've tried reaching the other pantheons. The Great Pantheon is just not answering any calls whatsoever from what Hell has told us.
That's not good.
Yeah. I've had a long call with the other pantheons from Egypt and India, and even the big man from we're based over in the U.S. Like, no one's answering. We're getting kind of worried. People not dying is a big thing. And people even starting to return to life now as well.
Well, shoot.
Yeah.
We told him to stop causing them miracles in the U.S. But all right. So,
Yeah,
what
the
can we do about
U.S. has
this?
caused a lot of issues for us lately. We think we have a ritual tonight that might be able to send one of ours through to the other side to try to
Alright.
find out what's going on.
All right.
It's going to be a big responsibility.
Mhm.
So I couldn't trust anyone else but you.
To do what exactly?
I need you to go to the underworld for me and see what's going on.
Oh. Oh, all right. Wouldn't I have to, die for that to work though? I mean, that's kind of one of them whole.
Potentially.
All right.
We gotta look. I'm still going over there. You see on her desk is just a bunch of occult books and like old Latin and old like Norse runes and everything like spread out. Actually, give me a weird roll. So roll 2d6 plus weird.
7.
You can't really make out a lot of this. The one thing that stands out for you is you see it's something to do with transference and requires a sacrifice of some sort. But you can't make out too much more than that.
All right. What? According to your books here, it looks like you're going to be needing some sort of a sacrifice. I mean, there's animals outside.
Yeah, magic
bet
magic
they're already
always
cooking.
takes a sacrifice. We have that covered. Don't you worry about that. That'll be an easy fix in the ritual for sure.
All right. I'll take your word for it. You
Right
have my
here.
full faith, and I'm like putting my hand up on her shoulder.
She puts her hand on your shoulder. This is why you're always one of my favorites. Why don't we, you know what? I've been saving this for a special time, but we have some time before we head out there. And she walks over around her desk and grabs like this old bottle of like scotch. You see it's from like the 1800s on the label, so it's very, very old. If you can crack this open, this is the perfect time. And she pulls 2 glasses and pours some into both and hands you one. To figuring out what the hell is going on. And toast you and just downs hers. And as you down yours, your vision goes hazy and you feel faint. And as you collapse to the ground and you look up at her, couldn't have been anyone else. We'll remember you, Lydia. Closes your eyes. So, I'm not going to describe the full ritual of what's about to happen to you. But as you start to see flashes of images over the next few hours, you see your ritual members chanting very loud Old Norse stuff. You see that you're sitting tied and strapped to a chair with your mouth strapped shut in the center of a pentagram. It looks to be in like red ink. At least you hope it's ink. You see Heather comes up and draws symbols on your bare arms and part of your upper chest right above where your robe opens up. And the last thing you feel as the chant reaches a crescendo is the most excruciating pain as every one of your nerve endings fires all at once and you black out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank.
Next up, someone tied very specifically to this character as we head up and up and up into the celestial planes. where we see different celestials and angels from different pantheons coexisting, because there's really not truly one pantheon in the celestial realm. And we zoom in on a very particular angel. Jet, why don't you describe what Eris looks like for us?
So Eris has like long black hair and like their eyes are like completely white and they have like a nice scar going through their face. Um they're wearing like a pantsuit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are a person of fashion. Don't look at their coworkers because they're probably also wearing similar things.
Pretty uniform. All the same exact outfits.
They have bit large black wings. Um yeah,
Okay.
and that's
Awesome.
that's Eris.
So, you're one of the guardian angels here for the celestial plane. Not really aligned, so to say, with one pantheon. The guardian angels are kind of, they get assigned to peoples of note that could go either good or bad one way, but the whole point is to guide them to their path and not let them get taken before their time. You've been in this like guardianship for a few years now. Your charge, Lydia, hasn't really done too much of note. They joined a cult a while back. They've been working their way up. It's a death cult, nothing too out of the ordinary in the world. There's plenty of death cults. But yeah, as you're flying around, you get a notification on you have like these bracers that kind of are like connected to the other people on your thing. It says, guardianship check in, everyone report to base within the next 20 minutes. We'll be going through updates on your charges. And then it just cuts off. You already see some of your fellow angels like flying up towards the top of what is Mount Olympus, as that is where the guardianship is underneath, being, tied so high to the Greek mythology as well.
I will go there for the check-in.
You head into the check-in. As you head to Mount Olympus specifically, why don't you roll me a sharp roll? So roll plus sharp.
A 5.
Okay, mark experience. So yeah, you're focused. You're heading straight to the thing. The one thing you will note, even on a failure, as you look up towards Mount Olympus, because your headquarters is at the base of the mountain. Not many people are allowed to go up to the top of Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is usually always bright, storm clouds around, lightning. It's dark. You can't see anything past halfway up the mountain. The whole mountain is just dark. But yeah, you arrive. You see everyone starting to line up. These are usually one-on-one talks. Everyone's like in a single file line leading into the building. You join in, have some small talk with some of the other angels, but they're all pretty. Once the job's called, everyone is pretty on point. And as you get to the head, you head in. Typically, you would talk to either Hermes or one of the other minor gods. Today, behind the desk is Hercules, one of the notable demigods. Eris,
Would this feel odd to me?
it's very odd. You've never seen a demigod man this desk before. Eris, welcome in. Sure you have questions, but we're a little short-staffed today. Just gonna come out and say this. When was the last time you checked in on Lydia?
Probably earlier today, and she was doing well. There was a cult meeting that she was going to go to.
Yeah. I have something to show you. It's gonna be a little graphic. But he pulls out it's like a portable, those old portable DVD players. He like turns
Oh.
around and presses a button in the middle, and you watch pretty much that talk with Heather through the ritual.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm assuming you know what this means, right?
I'm gonna run.
You're gonna run. Okay. Give me a. Man. Give me. Let's see. Give me act under pressure. So roll with your cool stat. As you just book it from Hercules after dropping the little player onto their crown as you hear a crunch behind you.
Not good. 7?
7. Okay.
I'm running from Hercules. Wow. Smart move.
Yeah, you run out. Hercules is too big to get around the desk in time to chase you, but you hear crashing behind you, and you just hear him yell, "Get her!" And there's just a loud trumpet that starts to play, and then and then you just hear war drums start to beat as Mount Olympus, the part that is visible, lights up red, and you just see a swarm of your brethren chasing you. But as you are running away, you stumble into a cloud and feel yourself descend, because you have just lost your divinity as you descend to the mortal world and end up about a couple miles away from the ritual site that Lydia was last at. But you hear the sounds of dawn, and you look around. Your wings are receded. You can feel them there, but you, for some reason, cannot access them at the moment. You look around at this, what looked like a camp festival site. There's like, would be like after like a Woodstock or something. There's just trash everywhere, drains, all this thing. But you do notice the very significant burnt pentagram in the middle of the field, with a familiar body still sitting in the middle.
I'm gonna go up to the body.
The body is in the same attire, badly burnt, and it is just a skeleton at this point.
Gonna drop to my knees and just like not know what to do with my hands, and it's like, if only I could have done more.
Yeah, you feel there's not, it's like they just died, like not even an hour or two from what you were told. This body looks like it's been dead for hundreds and hundreds of years, the way it's decayed already. as,
Ah.
as you're looking at this body, give me a sharp roll, add -1 to it. So whatever your sharp is, -1.
9.
Okay.
Oh wait, 8. Because I
8.
already have a -1 in sharp.
Fine. So at the last second, you're able to hear something sneaking up behind you. You can choose two options. You can let what happens, or you can dodge and potentially damage Lydia's body. Remains, I should say.
I think I'll let it happen.
Okay. As you feel a spiked scepter stab through your shoulder and just pin you to the ground. And you look up into the face of Heather, as well as two very familiar angels behind her. Large black wings. Angels don't typically have siblings because of the way they're born. But these two specifically were born at the same time as you. You know them as Brutus and Niles. Just two twin, like they look almost identical, but beyond the difference in color hair. One has brown hair, one has red, and they're just like the typical Greek warrior, just very built, with the centurion armor on, and just sitting there with their arms crossed, looking down at you, smiling. Oh, we always knew you'd screw up eventually, so that we could take our revenge. But we met a woman here who made a deal, so to speak. I mean, she was Niles's guardian person, so she had a little pull. You see Niles with an arm around Heather.
You set me up.
We did. We really did. And it was too easy. If you would have paid more attention to your responsibilities, you would have caught on a long time ago. It's not like we were that far off from your charge at all times. And you even see images of two men in the cult that look very similar to Brutus and Niles that you recognize from visions in your head that you flash back to. Yeah, we didn't really do much to disguise ourselves.
Just at a loss for words. Just angry.
It's okay. You'll see her soon. Don't worry about that. But you're not the favorite any longer. You're exiled and soon to be dead. No one's gonna even remember who you are. Oh, it's gonna be so great. Once Olympus turns back on, we'll be honored. It's all set now, and we have a new replacement for you as well. As you feel pain as the scepter starts channeling your magic out of you into Heather. Yeah, we knew killing my subordinate here would draw you out. And I just needed one of you to be able to conduct my ritual. I don't care about the underworld. I'm going to use your powers to ascend while it's still fresh. So thank you for this. You feel like your body start to like lose feeling as it starts to go down your body until you can only feel from the neck up.
I don't know how close they are, but I'm gonna try and spit in their face and say fuck you.
Yeah, 100% you can spit in their face. Yeah, you spit right in Heather's face and she just wipes it, laughs, and then just eats it. And just gives you a wicked smirk. Any other last little resistance you want to put up? This goes easier if you just give in. Here, we'll make this more ceremonial. And she gestures to Brutus and they grab Lydia's body and lay it next to you. Side by side. And then you see Niles come over and put his foot down to like on your face, like nudging your head to where you have to look at the body. See how much of a failure you are, Eris? Having fun all the time, doing whatever the hell you wanted, and getting praised for it. You think you deserve that still? Now? Look at this.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just like flabbergasted.
It's okay. As the last of your magic is drained and you feel the scepter leave your body, and you glance up warily to see two black wings sprout out from the back of Heather's back, and a very familiar outfit start to materialize around her. I believe that's it, gentlemen. Niles, if you would. And you look up and you see Niles' foot coming down towards your face, and there's a loud crunch. And that is where we'll cut off. And that's person. So, Abigail, how are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
So yeah, we're going to head over to Athens, to one of the many temples of the gods. There's been a lot of uproar in the city lately, as everyone knows the great pantheon has gone a little quiet. Even you, being one of the oracles in town, have not been able to have any visions linked to any of the gods. But you do get a vision, so I believe you have a move you can roll, right? Beginning of a session?
I do have a move I can roll.
Why don't you roll that for me?
Roll plus weird for premonitions.
Yep.
So that's a 7 plus 2. So that's a 9.
Okay, 9. With 7 and 9, you get clouded visions of something bad that is yet to happen. I wonder what that's going to be.
I bet I could stop it like the sheet says.
Oh, totally. 100%. So yeah, you go about your morning routine. You help set up the temple. You're in one of the temples of Apollo. Obviously, being an oracle, it made sense that you serve under him specifically. You're getting the temple set up for tours. You guys do tours every so often to visitors from outside of the city. And as you're like midway through the day, you drop to a knee as your eyes cloud. Very familiar feeling to you. But there's something that seems to be fighting against it. But the only thing you see flashes of soldiers and what looks like ruins, cries of help, and then the last thing you see is Athens on fire. And then you gasp as you come out of the vision. You don't see anyone else in the temple at the moment. Everyone has headed out into the town for supplies, to bring in tour mates. You were kind of the one left behind to get the last preparation set up. As you glance up at the statue of Apollo, usually gleaming is kind of like a dull, looks like a dull gold now, as there's no light cast on it.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. I can't leave the temple. I can't leave the temple, but a word has to get out. I'm just gonna go to like the door to like the stairs leading up to the temple.
Okay.
Is there anyone around? Like,
I mean, the temples are in the city center, so you can just start. You can honestly start just yelling out around you.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, "Hey, everybody, we are about. I hope everyone remains calm. We are about to be under attack. Athens will be on fire."
Roll me manipulate someone. Roll me charm.
It's a 3.
Everyone's just like giving you a look as they pass by, like, what this crazy, these oracles really think they know everything, don't they? You hear a bunch of like, you see a bunch of teenagers go by, go back and play with your tarot debts, freak. And they keep walking down the street.
Okay.
You see some other like little kids laughing and pointing at you, and some older people just kind of look away and scuttle by.
Kids are mean.
Mark experience, so.
I did.
But yeah, you stand out there for a while trying to get anyone's attention. Everyone seems like they're more worried about going about their day, rushing to work, until eventually you see some of your people from the temple. You see 3 of them carrying supplies back, and you see another couple leading a tour group up, already in mid-tour, kind of describing stuff about Apollo, about how the temple was built, and like the long history of your specific set.
Oh, I don't want to cause any panic to tourists, but oh my gosh. I have to stay at the temple. So I'm just going to go back inside. And I'm going to keep doing the preparations for tonight. Because the thing about my visions is there's not a timeline. They don't tell me when things are going to happen. So who knows? It could be far, far into the future beyond my lifetime.
It's possible. Yeah, you've had visions that happen the same day. You've had visions that didn't come for years. You've had a few visions that haven't fulfilled themselves yet. This just could be just another of that list. It's hard to really know. So yeah, you head back in. You see everyone start to give the tour gets conducted. They introduce you. This is one of Apollo's many oracles, well renowned for their visions. You see one of the kids in the back. What are the lottery numbers for tomorrow going to be?
7.
There's more than one number. But yeah, they just kind of brush past that, and then they leave you alone. They go back to where the statue is and everything. As the night comes and the sun sets, and you see everyone start to leave, everyone start to pack up for the night, you hear, at first it faint at first, but you start to hear drums. Very loud pounding drums. Every few seconds, louder, louder, and louder, before you hear an alarm go off over the whole town that you know is a siege alarm. The town is under attack.
Is anyone else in the temple with me?
The temple is silent.
Then I will just stand in front of the statue of Apollo, and I think I have just like a ceremonial dagger, and I think I'll just have that. It is not sharpened well, at all. It's just for show.
Yeah, you
I'll
stand
just
there
stand.
for minutes, hours. You have no idea how long the time passes as you wait in anticipation. You hear people screaming in the streets. You hear buildings crumbling. You see fire in the distance, very, very close to that vision that you had, until you see from the sky a like cloud open up, and you see these winged figures in centurion armor and black wings start to descend upon the town and just start to rain down divine energy, but it has like a black core in the middle. And as it hits, it spreads like this black fire around. There's any anime fans, it looks very similar to Itachi's fire from Naruto, as that black, unquenchable fire spreads quickly to the town. And as you start to brace yourself, a figure lands at the top of the stairs and receives their wings. You have no context for this person. But once again, this is Heather. As she approaches,
Oh, thank goodness you're here to help.
yeah, it'll all be okay, child. We've been sent here to help out the town.
Thank you.
You can rest easy now. You can put down the weapon. Our forces are going to
Sorry.
take care of everything. It's fine. She said, come here, child. She brings you in for an embrace.
I don't even hesitate. I'm so desperate.
Roll me sharp with -2 as you feel this tight embrace of like this otherworldly strength embrace you hard.
7.
7. You feel magic being channeled from her, like actively being channeled, like she's about to cast a spell.
What are you doing?
Don't you worry about that. You're an oracle, correct?
Yes.
Tell me what happens next as you feel a knife stab into your back. The knife that she told you to put down as she grabbed her ceremonial dagger from your waist.
I think just as she's like starting to choke on her own blood from getting stabbed in the back, I think just one single tear falls.
And as you fall, you get visions of, it feels like your future, but the past, it's hard to say. You get visions of an arena of countless shades surrounding a fight between a man in gleaming Greek armor and what looks like a humanoid bull fighting this man with dual gauntlets and like red and black armor, one red eye, as he just goes at them. And everyone seems to be cheering for these two people fighting this scrappy person, but you can't help but be drawn to them, like their determination, their power. And as you see him uppercut one last time to defeat the famous heroes, you see him approach and see a sign that you've made for him. He looks up. Oh, what a good shade. This fight was for you. I'll be back. And you see him head off. And you go black. Last but not least, hey Knots, how you doing?
I am not.
So,
I'm scared.
a little more modern time for your character, I believe. Where is
Yeah.
Knots at the moment as they are getting ready to head out for more vigilante-ness in the city?
Eliana is honestly, she probably just like passed the 7-Eleven and picked up a Dr. Pepper.
Of course. What does Eliana look like?
Eliana is she's very she knows that she shouldn't try to draw attention to herself, but couldn't help it anyways. Where she's clearly read one too many comic books and has like a whole little like she has like a leather jacket, like a kind of like a bodysuit, kind of like she's trying to look like a black canary.
Love it.
But she has like really thick she has really thick brown curly hair because boys gonna make them have curly hair. And so she's just walking down the street like, I'm hot shit. I know this about myself. And
Have you given yourself a vigilante name?
She hasn't yet.
Okay.
She just like she feels that it's better to not have a name because maybe it'll strike more fear. At least that's what she keeps convincing herself.
Really, in reality, you just can't think of one that sounds
Yeah,
cool
it's
enough. Yeah,
100%
that isn't already
that.
a comic book character.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, I think I can go by the Hex. No, that's lame.
Yeah, but you head down the streets, you're doing your patrol. People give you weird looks, like they know that there's a vigilante around, but like no one pieces together because you're still pretty low news. They just think you're a cosplayer in town for something.
Yeah.
So they get like the older people give you a wide berth while the younger ones look confused, like, I don't recognize what character are they? It's not Black Canary, is it? No, but they kind of look like witchy. And you just see like a bunch of like a group of nerds walk by and they're just like stumbled. They're all like, you hear them arguing about who you could be dressed up as. But as you head down your patrol for a while, you get past the 7-Eleven, you pick up your Dr. Pepper, your snacks and everything, and you get about halfway down the street before you hear back from that 7-Eleven a loud bang from a gunshot.
Immediately runs back.
Yeah, you head back. You see your favorite cashier at the 7-Eleven, Eddie. He's like still in school, 16, cowering behind the cashier. There is a person dead on the ground. An older gentleman has been shot. And then there's a person with a ski mask and what looks like heavy duty, like Kevlar armor on, as well as two others that you see kind of going through the aisles, corralling the rest of the people in the 7-Eleven.
Okay. I think without even thinking, she's going to just try to shield Eddie and get them to run out of the store.
Okay. Give me act under pressure. So
Okay.
roll plus cool, I believe. Yeah, plus cool.
Ah, fuck. I don't have good cool. All right, that is a 4. No, a 3.
3. Mark experience, please.
Don't let Eddie die.
Yeah, you run to get in the door and like you move a little too fast for the automatic doors and kind of just crash right through the glass as they don't pick up on your speed, as your magic actually makes you a little bit quicker than the eye can pick up, and you just hear this loud shatter, and as you do, you see the 3 people turn and point their guns at you. Well, it's the vigilante. Is that right? We knew you were around here somewhere. What's your name again? That's
Go fuck
right.
yourself.
You're not important enough one for yet.
Yeah, no, she's gonna use magic body, can attack with magic.
Yeah, use magic.
Cool. Okay, that's plus weird, which will hopefully be better. All right, that's a 12.
Ooh. So what are you trying to do with your magic?
I think she's trying to just slam them against the back because her focus is still on getting Eddie out.
Okay. So your magic works without issue. So you choose an effect off of the list. You said you're just trying to move them, right?
Yeah, she's like trying to just shove them into the wall behind.
Yeah, we'll just say a force of magic. Like, what color is your magic?
It's green.
Yeah, a green wave just goes past, hits everyone in the store, but only 3 of them are affected as they slam into the back wall, almost kind of magnetized to the glass windows. As you see, Eddie's like, "Thank you," and they all start to run out the front of the store.
Yeah. The people robbing.
Everyone but the robbers.
Everyone but the robbers.
The robbers are stuck like to like where the pop and like everything like the freezer doors are. They're stuck to them like this, like magnetized to them.
All right. Sorry. What was that?
You got lucky. And they're like trying to fight it.
Sorry, I don't speak loser.
They struggle. Eventually they break off. Like some of them have like the door stuck to them and they charge at you. Why don't you go ahead? Let's see. Roll me kick some ass. So roll tough.
Some ass. Okay. Oh, I don't have good tough either. Yeah, I roll something I'm good at.
Hey, you're the one that said you wanted to be a
Yeah,
superhero.
I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but that's a 7.
Okay, 7. So you'll take harm, which you're not going to mark right now because we all know what's going to happen to you. But yeah, you see a couple of them. The first two come up and you just hit them like with magically and charged fish, green glowing fish. You hit them and knock the first two out. The third one comes up and struggles. You hear a gunshot go off and you look down and like you're shot like on the right side of your hip as you feel blood start to pool out.
I'd at least try to take one of them out with me.
You knock 2 of them unconscious. Like 2 of them are completely out. This person's struggling on top of you as the gun clatters after it goes off. As the fight is going on, roll me sharp -1 to your roll.
Sharp -1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's just a flat roll then.
Okay, roll me a flat roll.
Okay. Let's go. That's an 11.
You hear distinctly the slow gait of like heels clicking across the pavement outside.
I don't know her.
No, this isn't going to be Heather. It's not going to be the same character for 4 of you. But you look back and see stepping through the glass. You haven't had many runs in with what you would call villains in this town. Like, there's not a lot of people that are supernatural that are out and about it. But there was one lady who would always wear a business suit, high power heels, very put together, and the only like ID way they hide their identity was a very like big pair of those like chunky sunglasses with like little bedazzles across the sides of them.
Her.
She walks in holding a Starbucks coffee and just walks in and is like, well, this makes it a lot easier for me. Thanks, boys. You did your job well. And she pulls out a gun and shoots the 3 of them dead. And then waves her hand, and you feel yourself lock up as you feel the earth beneath you rise up and pin you down, as her powers are pretty much earthbending. Wow. So I knew eventually it would be easy enough to draw you out, and you'd make a mistake, but I wasn't expecting to be this soon. You know, we never did get a hero name for you. Is there anything you want me to write in your obituary?
I think Eliana's also just gonna spit at her.
She pulls out a handkerchief, wipes herself off. 1 second, and you seal the encasement over your head as she like pulls out makeup and touches herself back up in the middle of this just because of that. Opens it back up just so your eyes are visible. No more of that. Let's be civilized here. These are your last moments after all. Man, now that you're gone, I think I have free reign of the city. You know what I'm gonna start with? I think your family would be the first start. Isn't that right? Was it Eliana? Is that your name? Correct? Yeah, that's right. As she like opens up enough of the stone to reach in and grab your ID with your address on it. I think I'm making a stop, but we'll let you sit there for a while. And she just encloses it around you and pulls you into the earth. And we'll cut hours later as you finally black out. And you drift off. And as the 5 of you feel yourselves descend and descend and descend, you lose your sense of self. And you feel you're in a line. If you see all these shades around, all looking similar to the shades in the 80s game, the little ghost light figures, all in order. One of them's gold for some reason in the line in front of you. But as you guys are all funneling in, and you see like people are going towards a gate, but they're stopping, and there's just a lot of like gathered around, almost to the point where it's hard to distinguish one from the other. This figure wats out from the gate, limping, fully clothed in robes. You can barely see their face, but you can see two skeletal hands and a staff. So he's limping forward. He's like, he's like, he's not really talking as much as he's growling out. And then he stops at 5 very particular shades. And he banes his staff. And the 5 shades of your characters come to life in what you were wearing. Same state it was in as you died. Signs from your wounds and how you died. Like, Eliana's just covered in dirt. Like, everywhere. Dirt and mud. Sybil, you have a big wound in the back that's just like open wound that it doesn't bleed, but it just doesn't heal either. Lydia, you have very severe burns up your arms and in your chest, and you just feel very raw. Esteban, you have the worst case of heartburn you think you've ever had in your life, as you see a slash on the front of your chest and you feel one correspondent on your back.
My weight in cockies.
And then Eris, there is a like red mark all across your forehead, and you feel a splitting headache as you can like hear your neck crack as you look around. And Sharon actually taunts. You 5. Not much time. Fix this. And he points to the gate. It opens, and he like goes to dust as his powers fade and Sharon passes. And that is where we'll go to break, everyone. So we'll be back in about, call it 11:25, and we will see where we pick up from here.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Ah.
Hey everyone, we are back. So everyone's dead. We did that thing. We did it. You guys all survived, sort of, as you have now woken up in the underworld. As Charon has pulled you from your shade bodies and gave you your original forms, slightly marred from before, and you see him disappear. And the gates in front of you open up. And you just kind of stand there with the five of you and a bunch of shades who, now that the gate's open, they're trying to go into the gate. They can't even get through the open gate either.
Lydia's gonna walk forward, towards the gate to see if we're not shades anymore. Can the de-shaded shades get through?
Oh yeah, you want to just go through and poke an arm or something through it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm already crispy,
you
so may
can
as
do it.
well.
You look in, you just see a stone pathway, and you're able to just reach your hand through it. It's fine.
Well, worse has already happened today. Y'all coming or not?
Yeah, why not? Just walks.
Yep.
Esteban kind of
Eris
takes a
is
beat.
following.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I feel like Esteban had read about this in a lot of the orders books and stuff, and looks around. He's like, this was real. And just kind of just follows. Yeah.
You know that your order didn't really have, especially they had a lot of information on the different possible afterlives. The top contenders you guys would lead in were Heaven and Hell, Greek Underworld, or kind of like Valhalla type thing, but you weren't really able to pin down which of the three predominant ones it was. Looks like it was the Greeks.
In the back of his head, he's like, now I get the part of the initiation that says not even death will break my vow. Got it. Cool. I'm still in the order.
But yeah, you all head through the temple. You come out the door, if you've played the Hades game, where Cerberus usually sits. And you see off to the side, you see sewer drains leading off further down, it looks like, and you see a door at the end of the hallway. And you also see a ghostly image of Charon appear in the corner and beckon you and then disappear. And you see 5 items lined up. What looks like used to be some type of makeshift market. But yeah, as you pass, you look around and the path has what looks like paw prints pretty embedded in this area. You see red fur from remnants of a dog being around, but you do not see a dog anywhere. But it's pretty quiet, pretty eerily quiet almost.
I'm gonna start whistling for the dog.
Roll for look for dog.
Yeah, you guys can roll. You guys
We
can
all roll for
Roll
dog.
for find the dog.
You can
Roll
all
for
roll, you
dog?
can all roll
Please.
sharp.
Oh no.
Oof. Can I?
I mean, you
That's
can.
5.
Anyone who
nice.
rolls
6.
6 or lower, mark experience. You do not see doggo.
Cry.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Did anyone roll higher than a 6? Okay, yeah, they're all looking around. I mean,
Did I use
you,
luck?
Sybil, have been here before. You get glimpses of memory. You're like this area seems familiar to you. And you remember passing through here once before almost and seeing a giant three-headed dog with red fur. It was actually very jovial of a dog. As you were going past, as soon as you turned back around and approached it, he growled at you a little bit as in not to come forward again. But yeah, you look around and you kind of get a beat on the area, and it doesn't look like he's been at his post in a long time.
Oh. The dog's not here. That's all she says.
There's a dog. I'm always the person who finds the dog at the party.
There was a dog.
Don't tell me the dog died too. I mean, them's the
Uh-huh.
worst kind of stories.
We have a website for it now.
A what?
What? What is a website?
like Google, like it's www.doesthedogdie.com. So you can look up, like you're watching a movie. So
A
that
what?
Domain taken?
I've had a movie before, and
I bet
we
that
have these
domain's taken.
computers. We just got computers where I'm from. They're real big though.
Just
I mean, like hefty. Like that computer damn near weighs as much as I do.
like a Dell? Like I
no,
get
like
they're heavy,
like
but
you can look it up on your phone,
What?
on your cell phone.
I'm like fiddling around for like one of those giant '90s phones,
Like the
where it's
car-
just
like
bright.
Yeah,
car
she pulls
phone.
out one of those like 90s Nokia like blocked.
Eliana pulls out her iPhone, like
what in the
you
Zach
know, like-
Morris is that?
you want to take a selfie, like.
What is
Is it like the thing I haven't Olympus? My brain just full glitched there.
Yeah, your little bracelet thing.
Is it like this?
I don't know what that.
As you guys are
is.
showing each other your like phone and your bracer thing, do you see in the corner where like your signal is? There's no bars, but where like the 5G symbol would be, it disappears, and in place of it is like a little red symbol with 3 dog heads.
Huh. That's new. My phone is very cracked. My screen's.
Wait, can I try to open my GPS and see if it'll show me it? Like I could like follow it to the dog.
Your phone
No,
broke.
you don't
in the
have
vampire
a
attack.
thing for the dog. But as you open the Maps app, it comes up, says Underworld Maps, and you see a map that like it's kind of like Fog of War. You see where you're at. It says you're in the Temple of Stitz at the moment, and you see there's a door. The door in front of you is labeled Stairs to Elysium.
I'm gonna
Really?
put in like Arby's search.
It's no Arby's nearby.
Sybil,
Anybody know where any of these names are?
I'm like looking at your phone, like you didn't
Mistakes.
even have to unfold that map.
Sybil's looking at the phone like a newborn when they first see an iPad. Like,
Yeah, this
This
must be some type
will
of
never be
magic
the
you've
same.
never seen before. Like you don't know what this is. Maybe she's an oracle too.
wow.
I kind of I look at Knox and kind of do this kind of a side thing. You know, like I don't exactly know what's going on. But I don't think we have time to show these 3 angry birds or anything like that. So let's not.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be here all
fine.
day.
Yeah. Oh my god. If Flappy Bird was still on the. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, you guys gather your Baron. The dog's not here. We found out not been here for a while. You see the little makeshift shop is set up, and there's like those 5 items sitting off to the side. But there's nothing else of note in this temple at the moment.
And I look at the shop thing.
You want to head over to the shop?
Not when you say it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you head over to the shop, and as you approach, each of you feel something tug, like deep within you, like to one of the 5 items.
It's the heartburn.
It's not the heartburn.
It's
Deeper
the
than that.
regular burn. The
Deeper
tough
than
Do you
that.
need some
Heartburn.
Tums?
It's the hell burn.
Jumps too.
Oh, it's my magic being siphoned from me again.
But as you guys approach, the light around these items dim, and we'll go in reverse order of how I killed you. As the first item that dims completely in glow is a bow. It's like a pinkish, like redwood type bow that hovers over and stops in front of Eliana. And as you grab this bow, it's a little worn with time. You don't see any arrows, but as you pull the string back, it's salmon, and an arrow starts to form on top of it. And you let go, and you feel like your magic even can channel through this bow a little bit as you are holding Koronat, the heart-seeking bow.
Love this one. It's just like, okay. Oh, I gotta shoot something.
Next up, speaking of shooting something, as what looks like a gauntlet with a barrel. It's really funny that one of the newer modern characters didn't get this weapon.
I
As
got
this,
a gun.
you got a gun. As this gauntlet flies over and just fits itself on Sybil's arm. As you you're trying to, this is weird technology. You've never seen something like this. And you kind of fletch your wrist and a rocket shoots out the end of your arm up in the air. And you know this to be Etzagrife, the adamant rail. Next up, Eris, as you approach, you feel some of your armor, you have full plate armor. Some of it breaks off to where you're more in half plate and shoots towards one of the items and surrounds it. And there's a glow. And as the glow comes, a little cracked with wear, a golden shield with spikes around the edge and the shape of a sun flies over to you full buzzsaw style and then just slides onto your arm as you hold Aegis, the shield of chaos, in your grasp.
My favorite. Look at you. Best.
Then, Lydia, as you appear, you had a staff and was part of you being initiated cold because the staff was so powerful. It was the same staff that Heather stabbed through Eris in the earlier scene. But you feel that same connection to this weapon as it flies into your hand. It's still the same type of shape. It's a long staff, but at the end are these two blades that come up into a spear point as you hold Faroth, the eternal spear. And Esteban, your sheath on your back where your new Order of the Serpent Sword was is filled once again as the last light dims and a sword spins over and sheaves itself in your back. And as you pull it out to look at it, you stare at Stygius, the blade of the Underworld, as that little, it's almost the same color in that black color and with a little bit of red on the sides, but where that Orobus symbol is now there's a scroll with one red eye. And you guys feel deep connections to these weapons.
I wink back at the skull.
And as all this happens and all this dims down, you recognize all these weapons, Sybil. You've seen a very particular individual use variations of these weapons over and over and over again. There's one item missing. You remember a pair of gauntlets, that vision you had before you died of a man wielding gauntlets fighting bare-fisted against people. Does something to be here. But these 5 weapons are also very powerful in their own right. They all seem to be missing the gleam, though. They all had different features based on every time you saw them. About 4 features that he would go between. These all look kind of dull and cracked.
These aren't right. I fire another rocket in the air.
No, shoots off. Works. Remember exactly how you remember it. And as you do that, you shoot a rocket in the air, and then you twist your wrist to the other side and just start scattling, shoot it off.
I remember that. Yep.
So what I'm hearing is you're going first in line.
What?
I think you've got the front covered with the
So you don't just shot the back.
So we got driver points at you with the gun, shotgun points at you with the map, and backseaters and points at us other 3.
Shield.
Yeah, that works for me. Work for y'all. Work for you.
Hey, Eris, roll me cool, please.
Oh no. Seven.
Yeah, with 7, shield feels really right to you. You were a guardian in your divinity, in your short mortal life. That was your job, to guard. But as you look into shield and you look up and you just see Lydia kind of looking over her weapon and saying everything, you're can't help but feel that deep guilt claw its way back out of you. As why would you get a shield? You weren't able to protect the one thing you were tasked with protected.
Ouch.
But yeah, that's it.
Can't tell if it's the gun wound in my side or the feels. Ow.
Just like still like pressing on the wound. Oof, that hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are free to explore or head to Elysium, whatever you would like to do.
So I got the map. Where do you want to go?
Where do we want to go?
Well, you said none of this is right.
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 Right. So you should know things then, right?
Right.
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 So where do we go? Do we turn right?
No, that door right there is
Okay.
it's home.
Right. We're gonna follow you.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I've got a gun. Just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there was like some form of gun weaponry back then. It was just not this advanced. It was like probably like the old like ones you had to like load for a very long time to be
And
effective.
the Oracle in the Temple of Apollo would not understand.
Yeah, you were like when you saw the weapons, you're like, well, obviously the bow, right? I'm Apollo, and then you get a hand cannon gun thing on your arm.
Were
So
guns
funny.
invented?
I love this so much. It's so funny.
But yeah,
No,
you guys gonna head into Elysium then?
Yeah.
Closer.
Okay, yeah. As you open the door, you go down to a chamber. You come out into a chamber with a broken glass box, two empty fountains. It looks like, and then like some water in the corner. It's like a pit stop between rounds or something. You see what looks like in the last case, what looks like would have been namesakes or little like mementos left behind, but you guys can sense whatever magic these things might have possessed has been drained. And they're just little keepsakes now. But you see another set of stairs heading past here. Just head down the
Yeah, I
stairs.
guess just head.
Yep. Let's hit those
Yep.
stairs.
You head down the
I'll pick up-
stairs
upward.
to a very
pick up the-
familiar place to one person here. As you guys enter a arena, kind of broken down. A lot of the stands are collapsed in on themselves. Sybil, as you look off to the side, though, you look at your place where you always sat front row, and you see one of your old signs is still kind of hanging there.
Huh. Well, this isn't how it used to look.
How did it used to look?
Not like this. And I'm just gonna go get the sign.
Yeah, you grab the sign, and it's so petrified with age. As soon as you grab it, it like crumbles in your hands, and the only thing left in your hand is a stylized red Z.
Who's Z? That your boyfriend or something?
No,
Friend of
I don't
yours,
know.
maybe.
maybe. I don't know. I'll try to fold the Z into a little like paper, but it just breaks into like 4 pieces that she just like stacks on top of each other. Just puts them in her pocket. Huh. Well, Theseus isn't here. And the bull isn't here.
Bull? Okay, I've been
The
trying
bull
to
of
hold it.
Minos.
I'm
Ain't
gonna
that a
let Lily know.
myth?
I've been trying to hold it together.
Huh.
What is happening? Am I dead?
Yes.
I would
Yes.
figure we
Yeah.
all were.
That's the one thing here that I thought we had a consensus on.
I was kind of I mean, yes, but I was kind of hoping that wasn't
I
really
mean, that's
what
fair.
Well,
I had a Groupon.
Oh, for what?
It doesn't
Groupon?
matter now. No, we're not doing that. So what now? Exactly.
Now that I'm thinking about it, do we want to like sound off how we died, or just accept not crossing that road and moving forward?
I got stabbed in the back, literally.
I got buried alive
I got stabbed in the front.
and shot.
And?
Not or?
No, I got shot. I got shot in my side, and then when I was down, this bitch in heels decided to wrap me and turn me into a hot pocket and take my ID, tell me she's gonna kill my family, and then encased
Two
me
questions.
yeah.
That's rough.
Number
buddy.
one, what is a hot pocket?
Thank you.
Number two, what?
Okay, how do I explain? It's like a pizza, like somewhere like a pizza in a. We don't have the time. You know what a beef Wellington is?
No.
No.
Those existed in the night.
They existed in the 90s. Do you think I was... Listen, I was loyal. I was not smart.
Oh.
You don't end up as a member of a cult by being smart, honey.
Fair. It's very fair.
I died because I failed to protect the person I was supposed to. They're like very sad about this while saying it.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. And I'm gonna go give you a hug.
Okay, Halloween mark experience. Oh
I failed
god.
to protect you. Hug.
I feel like
Yeah,
everyone else
this
should
just
take
makes you
harm
feel
from that.
100% worse. There was a track for emotional damage in this game. It would be marked pretty heavily. Right now.
Emotional harm.
I'm just gonna eat my gluten-free Oreos.
Yeah, my cult leader, as far as I can tell, I was the sacrifice. She told me we needed a sacrifice. And normally when we're doing a ritual, it's an animal. And I suppose humans is also animals. But this wasn't what I had in mind. But I'm here now, and crispier than when I left. But there could be worse, I suppose.
The way that Eris is nodding along, like if you pay close enough attention, it's almost as if they already knew that.
Passive perception, none. Passive insight, also none.
Why doesn't everyone
Sweet. You know nothing.
everyone roll sharp? Eris roll cool.
That's a solid 5 for
12.
me.
6.
Okay. Yeah. Eliana,
12,
you're muted.
yeah.
I was muted 10.
Yeah, they rolled 12. Yeah, Eris, you keep your cool. I mean, you're able to hide it enough. Like they see you, like they just assume you're kind of sad, but they don't see you like picking up on the story that Lydia's doing. And that's not a roll you mark experience for, just so you know. That's just a contested roll.
Oh, I'm Lydia, by the way. Y'all are
Esteban.
Esteban,
Eliana.
Eliana,
Eris.
Eris the protector, Esteban the stabbed in the front, and then we got Ileana the hot pocket, and you are Miss stabbed in the back.
Sybil.
Sybil. All right. Is that short for sibling or what?
No.
Tempted to take that experience point back. Damn.
I'm gonna kill Heather.
You
I
love
love
me?
Lydia so much.
I love Lydia.
Thank you.
You know what? I think Heather was right.
Oh no. No. So the bony fellow. he let us through here. You know, we all have a thing.
Yeah, before I died, I was a part of a death cult, and I worshipped
That'll
under
do it.
hell. No, well, yeah, that does a lot of things. First of all, but what we were doing here is hell was reaching out to the other deities because I don't know if you've noticed, but people ain't been dying like they used to. And like I know modern medicine works wonders and shit, but like there is a difference in like modern medicine and people just not kicking it. So as far as I understand, the ritual was to send someone to the other side to solve whatever the heck was happening with the Greeks. Because for some reason, the Greeks just stopped talking to everybody else. The American god was still talking to people, a little quieter than usual, but was still talking. Then the Egyptians and all the others were being a little quieter than usual. But for some reason, people still weren't dying.
I died just fine.
Well, we died just fine, but people in general en masse ain't been dying like they used to. So I figure there's some reason we're all here together, and Bone Man, or whatever you want to call him, picked us to solve this mystery for him. Problem is, where do we have to go to get to a mystery? I ain't no mystery solver. I did some magic in my day, drank some juice, had the cult thing happening. It was a grand old time. Where do we start on a mystery?
I might be able to help with that. I am a
Sybil, as Lydia's talking, you remember a name. Charon.
Charon. That's just the name of the person who got us to stop being the way we were.
I mean, and you guys would know Charon was the god of, not necessarily like a god per se, but like the ferryman of the Underworld. So who else to let you in?
So Eliana was totally a Percy Jackson kid, and so
Yeah, it doesn't quite look like that version of him.
And so it was like, oh, okay, I know that name. That's the, but we need coins. Well, nobody's dying like they used to.
Need coins.
You know, to put on your eyes, or so that gotta pay the ferry.
Okay.
Like, isn't that even the saying or something?
That.
You gotta pay.
Yeah, you gotta pay the ferryman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where that came from.
that tracks.
Best one, you said you knew about mysteries?
I don't. So I happen to be a member of the Order of the Serpent. You haven't heard of us. That's the point.
No.
And if this really is where we is, we have branches all over. Is all I mean. And the vow I took to protect the innocent from the forces of darkness do not end in death, and therefore, if I am here, maybe other members of my order are here, which we could seek them out for guidance or something, anything. Maybe they know where this Charon is, or how to navigate this place. That's all. I don't know where they would be exactly, or if I'm even still in good enough standing with them that they would hear my request, seeing as I died on my first field mission and all.
I mean, can you get kicked out for dying?
The bylaws are murky about that part. To be honest, kind of at their discretion.
Assuming you want to use your move when you're in good standing with your set. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll.
So I get to
Keep the roll plus charm.
Oh, historically bad with that. -1. That is a 7 then, but that turns into a 6 with my charm.
So mark experience. It says on a miss they asked you to do something bad. I think they already asked you to do something bad in this particular scenario. They sent a new initiate into a den of a vampire lord. So, trats. I'll say with that though, I mean, but you have the base knowledge of like Greek mythology. Like you've read the Percy Jackson books. You've read myths and like historical myths. Like every iteration of Greek mythology, you're familiar with it. It lines up. You're in the Underworld. You're going to Elysium. You can assume next is probably going to be Asphodel and Tartarus. It just makes sense. But you don't really know what could be happening here, though. But yeah, you guys are gathered. You talk for a couple hours or so. Time doesn't really matter anymore at this point. You don't feel yourself get hungry or tired or anything like that. But as you guys are all gathered, I need each of you to roll 2d6 for me, real quick, just flat. And that's gonna decide what happens here.
We got 11.
Okay, so let's see. Eris, would you roll?
9.
9. You know what? It might be easier if I number these so I don't have to count every time I ask one of you what you rolled. There we go. Okay, so you said a 9. Okay. Abigail?
7.
7. That's perfect. Okay. Woodwell?
4.
4. Perfect. Halloween?
11.
11. And Knots?
3.
Okay.
Hey.
So as you guys are all just talking, there's a loud boom from above. And you all hear a weak voice. Can't do much. Cut off. Here you go. And you feel each of your weapons glow. As you all receive a godly boon for your weapon. With a 3, Eliana, your attacks now deflect. As you feel the blessing of Athena apply itself to your bow. So when you roll for like to defend yourself, or when you roll to attack, if you roll higher than a 10, then you'll get an additional effect. So all these effects will only trigger if you roll above a 10. Let's see, who had 4? Halloween, right?
No, I had 11.
That was me.
Did you get 4? So you get the blessing of the god of war, Ares. You feel every time you hit someone with your sword, there's going to be delayed harm that's applied after a certain amount of time.
That's what gets you.
On a 7, very fitting that you get this specific god symbol as you rolled Apollo. Your attacks now have a blinding effect as they are charged with the sun itself. Oh, did I say plus 10? This is actually a plus 12. So it's like, you know how some basic moves get an advanced version? It's kind of like that. It's an advanced version of your basic moves. So they can trigger based on that. 11 was Halloween. You get the blessing of Hestia, as your attacks now have a slight burn to them that might leave some lingering effects applied. You rolled these. The dice is on point today with these like timings. And then what was your roll again, Eris?
9.
9. You feel a deep chill as you get the blessing of Demeter. And you feel that your attacks will have a slowing effect the more that they get stacked onto an enemy. And as you feel these godly blessings, and you feel like something in your weapon is wanting to get out. Like there's something more that this weapon can do, but you don't think you've reached the point where it can unlock yet. you hear loud footsteps, like pounding on the ground as the whole arena is shaken. As jumping over into the stadium with you is a skeletal, three-headed dog.
Yes.
And that is where we are going to end
No.
tonight's session.
What the puppy?
You get
The
to see
puppies
the
are
puppy.
personal.
Rolled
You get to see
silent.
the puppy. He's the first boss fight.
How
What?
fitting that, suddenly we get all these weapons and stuff, and then boom, fight.
Fight.
What? No. You'll be fine. But yeah, with that as our first episode is Death Was Easy. Like I said, Death was easy. Now they did the fun part. But before we close it off, when we go around, if you have anything you want to plug, go ahead and plug it. Tell everyone they can find you on the social medias and such. And we'll start in reverse order. So, Knots.
Hi everyone, my name is Noxkitos. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And you can I was on Liana today, your vigilante hex. You can find me tomorrow on the Bardic Inspiration Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the first episode of Power Rangers Monster Force, where I will be playing Avalon, the Yellow Ranger. I finally get to play a plus size disabled Yellow Ranger. It is literally everything I ever wanted as a kid, and I'm very excited about that. And then I have so many things. So just follow me on Twitter at Nocturnal_7 to see all the things.
That's good. Halloween.
I'm Halloween. I go by she, they pronouns. And today I played Lydia, our chosen character. You can find me on just about anything as at 11 Halloween 22. I am currently most active on my Instagram. I do also have a TikTok, but I've been really falling off my TikTok recently. But you can follow me there. Currently, this is my only live stream, though I have more stuff that'll be coming up in the future. We're not ready to start plugging that yet. So I'll see you then.
Sounds good. Miguel.
Oh, right. Hey, hi, howdy everyone. It's Miguel. Miguel, you can find me all over the internet, wherever social medias are sold at Miguel_Classico, except for Blue Sky. Take out the underscore. I have a stream coming up Friday. This Friday. Also, check my socials for it for exact dates. It's a delightful little game called Warren Guard, where you get to fly dragons around and do cool dragon stuff. I'm very excited about that. Coming over with Critical Misses soon, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Abigail.
Hello, I'm Abigail the Nerd on all socials, and right now, you could find me over on World Tree Quests on Wednesdays, playing To the Skies, a post-apocalyptic campaign, and then right after that, you can find me on Dice and Autism's channel on New Rollis, and right now, that's all I got.
Perfect. And Jet.
Hi, I'm Jet. I use they them pronouns, and today I was playing Eris the Divine. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. Not quite, I don't stream. Instagram, as Cos Pingu. Yeah, I think this is the only stream I'm a part of right now.
Okay. Perfect. And of course, I'm Paige, aka Pluto. I am a queer, non-binary trans streamer and game master on a quest to run every game in the known universe. Current projects on rotating Tuesdays with this game, same time at 10 p.m. Eastern. I am running my own Power Rangers RPG game called Power Rangers Fairy Arcana Force, where King Oberon and Queen Titania fight over the grid, and our Rangers have just come together last session. And they somehow built the Breakfast Club without even running character ideas by each other. I don't know how that happened, but I'm here for it. We're only missing the jock, so I need to add a jock NPC ranger at some point is what I'm picking up on this. Besides that, on Thursdays, I have my Pokemon Nuzlocke streams. We're playing Pokemon Unbound. We've only done one session so far. We'll be back this Thursday with that, so tune in for that. There's some rewards in my stream chat where you can affect the game as I go. And then on the second and fourth Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, I am playing Power Rangers, continuing as Frankie Oliver, the Silver Arcanite Ranger on Power Ranger Arcanites over on Art Light Quartz channel. But that's everything for me. We hope you guys had a great time. I'm sure these guys were all delighted at their death scenes earlier. But we'll see what else I have in store for them as they get ready to battle the undead Cerberus next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh boy.